Whew, speaking of business, I don't like these conversations. These are legitimately my least favorite conversations that we ever do because it's one thing, like our next guest is a hell of a football player. There's just no question about that. He's a damn good football player, and there's a reason why the Vikings just signed him to a 3-year deal.
No doubt.
But he's also a really good dude and has been since the moment he arrived here, and he's been one of our favorite people to chat with. Wins after losses, in good times and tough times. He hasn't changed what he's all about, and it is really tough to see him go. We understand it's a business. That's the way it works. Joining us now, former Ravens defensive tackle and all-around great dude, Michael Pierce is with us here on GCR. Michael, it's Glenn and Kyle. It's so good to catch up with you, man. We are thrilled for you, but this is really tough to do, dude. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning.
Oh, no problem, man. I enjoy it. Thank you for the kind words, man.
Hey, man.
It's been a whirlwind, but I'm glad to be back on the show.
Well, I appreciate that, and I really do appreciate all the time that you've given us, and we will be in touch for sure as you make this transition. I guess the first good thing is you got a lot of purple already in your wardrobe, right? Like it kind of worked out a little bit in that way.
Yeah. No, we got a little bit. The logo is not correct at the moment, but it'll be all good.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Michael, was there a moment for you, maybe even before this week, before this month, maybe last season, something along those lines, where, I don't know, reality, whatever it was, whatever word you would choose, where it kind of set into you, hey, I got a feeling that this is probably going to lead to me being somewhere else?
A little bit. I know we tried to do an extension, I want to say, right before last season.
Okay.
Kind of led to me sitting out of OTAs and trying to get a deal done. But, everybody has their own direction for the team. And Mr. DeCoste was upfront and honest with us from the get-go. If they could make it work with the money that they were trying to spend on the position, they would. But, it just didn't work out. So, obviously, we know this is a business. They've been nothing but good to me, especially coming in as an undrafted free agent. So, I have nothing but great things to say. But I kind of knew it. And then towards the end of the year, I knew it. But, Brandon was kind of playing out of position so we both could play at the same time.
Sure.
I think he'll have an amazing year being back in those. And just seeing the move that they made with Calais and Michael Brockers, man, they're loaded. And I talked to Coach Joe Cullen, I'm going to say this yesterday. And, man, they're in great hands. But, yeah, I kind of knew it. And, everything worked out. And everybody won at the end of the day.
Did it allow you, like that feeling, did you maybe do like the goodbye thing after the Titans game, or maybe even the next day when you guys were in cleaning out the lockers? Did it allow you sort of like a bit of peace in that process?
Yeah, a little bit, man. I still have to call Wink. I kind of talked to Coach Cullen, and he told me they would bring me back if whatever reason, how everything shakes out. You just never know with free agency.
Sure.
But I made sure I spent some time with my guys. Our D-line was close. We all went out to dinner, as we do every year, and we just kind of celebrate each other and just appreciate each other, man. You spend so much time with those guys. You get to know their families and stuff. So it was good to see those guys, and I'll be friends with those dudes, and obviously the coaching staff as well for life, man. So I definitely made sure I spent time with those guys just in case things didn't go the way we all wanted it to go.
I want to take you back to the spring of 2016. You're coming out of Samford. Mm-hmm. You go undrafted, and you get this opportunity with the Baltimore Ravens. If I had told you then that you weren't going to be that far away from signing a contract that would pay you nearly $10 million a year to play the game of football, what would you have said to me then?
Look, I wouldn't even believe that I would have made the roster.
Wow.
Man. We had a star-studded group, to be honest with you. So I was just trying to I knew if it was a slim shot that I made that team, or I was trying to make the practice squad and make sure I got on somewhere else. Because, we had LG who ended up making $25 million. Timmy got a big payday in Philly. Obviously, we just re-signed Brandon. So, and Carl Davis was a high-round draft pick as well as Willie Henry. So, coming in from Michigan. So, I knew we had a really, really great group of guys. So, it was going to be hard for me to make my way on that team even on the practice squad. So I definitely wouldn't have believed you, man, but the Lord works in mysterious ways, man. I'm just thankful for the opportunity that they gave me. Ozzie, Coach Harbaugh, Coach Cullen, Dean Pease, everybody. So, yeah, man, I got a lot of thank yous that I got to send out here shortly.
You know, we had this conversation with Za'Darius a year ago at this time, and it was a pretty tearful conversation. We had it with him because he was literally like in the process. He was closing on a house for his mom that day as we were having this conversation. Have you, the way this is changing your life, and I know that you've made a little bit of money obviously doing this, like even the guys on the rookie deals, even undrafted guys make some decent money, right? But the way this changes your life and what you're going to be able to do for people that you care about, has that hit you yet in the last couple of days?
Not really, man. To be honest, you make so many plans, and say if I ever make this amount of money, if I ever get in this position, I'll do this, this, and that, and that's all fine and dandy until it actually happens to you. And I've just been floored, man. There's definitely a lot of things I would love to do in my community at home, and for the guys in my high school, and just around the state. But I'm especially being with the Ravens, man. They're so community driven. And you make so many connections, obviously, with you guys and a lot of the media members and the people in the city. So there's a lot of things I want to do that's not particularly for my family. I've been blessed to come from a really good home, and my parents make great money for the things that they do. So obviously I'm going to do something nice for them, something nice for my little brother and my community at home. But that's something I definitely took from the Ravens, man. You got to reach out to your community and touch the people in need. And that's something that I appreciate about sports in general. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to doing a lot of good things, starting my own foundation, and starting to make my imprint on people.
Awesome. Can you talk a little bit about the connection that you had with the Baltimore community? Like, I mean, obviously it's a unique place. What did it mean to you in the time that you spent here, and is it a place that you want to still be in touch with, even in the future?
Oh, no doubt. So a lot of people don't know this, man. I want to say around 10 family members who've been there since before I was born, so over 30 years. So I was blessed, man. I got to come to Baltimore, and I felt right at home because I got to go over their house and meet people through them, not only through football. And that kind of that definitely changed my perspective on, just being around people that you wouldn't normally be around. So I got to see a lot of different people, got to meet a lot of different people who influence their communities in different ways. So with all that, man, I love this city. I definitely will be back. I am a frequent Preakness goer, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. So, yeah, man, I made a lot of lifetime friends, and I'll definitely be in that community, doing whatever I can. I know Jamil McClain, he was retired a while ago. He's still active in the community. Bart Scott's still active in that community. So those kind of guys are the kind of guys that I love to be around, and I kind of want to mold myself after those guys, and continue to be and touch people wherever I am and wherever I can get to.
That's awesome, man. Michael Pierce is with us on GCR. There's a couple things I just want to follow up on with there. One, might be a little tough this year for Preakness because it's looking like September, so that probably is going to be off the table, unfortunately, for this year, but hopefully back to normal next year. And then I didn't know this at all about your family. Who were the family members that you were around while you were? I never heard that story before, Michael.
Yeah. So my aunt, and I want to say her 5 kids, her husband. And I have 2 aunts there, and they both have pretty big families. So,
that's cool, man.
They are not too far from Owens Mills, so I got to see them pretty frequently. They got to come to the games, and my little cousins grew up Ravens fans, obviously.
So cool.
But I never got to come to the game. So for me to be able to do that for them, and just them being proud to have a family member on the team was huge. So. Yeah, they mean the world to me, man, and they're a reason why I had success so fast because I never lived outside the state of Alabama except maybe for a year. So just being around them and getting that family feeling, and that definitely led to my success.
All right, so we know about you that you're a fashionable dude, but we also know that you're a guy that's always been looking for a bargain too within your fashion. Does this maybe now mean that you can go spend top dollar to be looking snazzy during press conferences next season?
Negative, man. I'm still a deal shopper. I've learned a lot. I listen to a lot of podcasts, man. And it's not always about what you have and what you spent on it. So, no, man, I plan on shopping for deals only. And I'll put the money to good use with my foundation.
All right, I like that.
I'm a country boy. I like to live a modest lifestyle, and I'll be the same person regardless, man.
So, are you, as a country boy, I imagine you enjoy barbecuing. Like, are you going to splurge on something like cooking related by chance? Like, is there something?
So I actually put this out on the gram probably like a week or two ago. I'm trying to decide between a Traeger grill, which is Wi-Fi related. You can adjust the temperature and all that stuff. I learned that from Brent Urban, by the way. Shout out to my brother. And
wait. We just need to mark this moment in history. A dude from Alabama is taking barbecuing tips from a Canadian.
Wait, so if you haven't watched Earth's Instagram, that dude, he actually plans on opening his own restaurant.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Like, literally restaurant quality food. The dude is amazing. I don't know where he learned it from. Now, I'm going to stick to the Bama recipe for barbecue. But as far as cooking the meat, I will take some advice. But I'm deciding between a green egg and a Traeger grill at the moment. So I like to do extensive research on this stuff just to make sure, I'm doing the right thing. Or I may just buy my parents the green egg and buy myself the grill. And
there you go.
And then you can always, that's actually very smart. That's not a bad idea.
The green egg, I never used it, but I've tried some food from it, and wow.
And it's just getting everything together.
Oh, yeah.
And,
it's a big old happy party.
Oh, man.
If you can get the temperature control down with the wood, I heard it's the perfect thing.
What's your?
For me, I'm a novice at this point as far as smoking stuff. So I'm a little worried, but if I store it at my folks' house, I can have the option.
Right, exactly right. You have the option.
We're going to need to check back in. I imagine you're going to have some time to maybe smoke a couple things here between now and then, and we need to know. Like, I personally want to know what the ideal wood blend is for the best barbecue. So we'll need to check back in.
We're looking forward to this.
No problem.
You end up in Minnesota. Look, we have winters in Baltimore, right? So like you've had to deal with it, but not quite like what goes on in Minnesota. So maybe while you're not going to start like spending more money in clothes, you might just need to spend more money in material for clothes, because you're probably going to need about 8 new parkas between now and this winter.
I think I own maybe 1 or 2 parkas, and those came from Nike with my Nike deal. So, the apparel will change drastically. But I'm a hoodie guy anyway, so I've collected my fair share of hoodies. But no, that's a different kind of cold up there that I would definitely have to prepare for. Especially being from down south.
Right.
Are you the type of person to like layer outerwear?
No, man. I tend to run hot pretty easily, but obviously I've never been in extreme cold.
I was going to say.
I may start off that way, but in Baltimore I got by. If I just had on a trench coat or something nice, that would have been all right. But
what?
I'm gonna try it both ways. But for bigger guys, you don't want to have too much.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But I was more so asking, what size coat would you need to buy, knowing it was going to be the outside layer of an outerwear layering?
Yikes. So let me plug my guy, matter of fact. So if Judah Estraya owns JBD Clothing, he makes my jackets. So that would probably be a better question for him. I never had to layer clothing. So we definitely we'll have a talk here once I get everything squared away with my life and whatever. But I'm sure it's going to be at least a 3XL jacket. It might be a little bit bigger to fit on top of something else that he already has.
I get that.
I have no idea. That's a better question for him. But if y'all looking for great suits, great overcoats, that's your guy.
All right, let's wrap this way, Michael. One, just something that you do on a day-to-day basis that you know is something that you've taken from a Ravens teammate or just from your time in Baltimore, that like when you prepare, when you're watching film, when you're working out, something that you do regularly that you know you only do this because of somebody you were around during your time in Baltimore.
Dang, man, I took so much stuff from so many people, man. But the way I watch film, I got Terrell Suggs and Lawrence Guy.
Okay.
So they split up their film time. So Monday he'll watch all the runs. Tuesday he focuses on the individual matchups he'll have, and then he'll go on Wednesday and we have those meetings on Wednesday, and then he'll look at it from a defensive perspective. So by the time Wednesday comes, he knows exactly who he's playing against, what they like to do, what he plans on doing. By the time we walk on the practice field, he's already a step ahead of most people who are just doing the bare minimum. So I learned so much from Sid, man. I can't even. It'd take me an hour to explain everything. But,
that's incredible.
He was just so far ahead of where I thought I was being prepared, just doing what Coach asked me to do. He was 10 steps ahead of me. By the time I got to the meeting on Wednesday, he had asked me 3 questions about a center, and I only knew the answer to 1 or 2.
Jeez.
So, and that's from me actually doing exactly what the coach told me to do. So, for everybody who's listening, young nose guards, any football players, that film will tell you everything you need to know. And the quicker you get it down, obviously everybody's not blessed with Hall of Fame talent, but the more you know, the better you'll play, and it'll make everything so much easier. So I thank him and Lawrence Guy for mentoring me in that way.
And then we go back to you being a rookie, right? Like you had to go out there and go against the ones on the offense before you were ready to become the player you became. Do you have a story of battling against Marshall Yanda in that first maybe year or so that you were in the NFL?
Yeah. So I believe Brandon had a baby right before our first game.
Okay.
Preseason game. And he missed a few days being with his son, and so I had to take a lot of the 1 reps. Timmy Jernigan was in and out, but he was mostly our 3 technique. So they just kind of threw me in there to see what I could do. I had a good first game. We do a double team drill with him, and I don't know if y'all remember Austin Howard.
Yep, sure.
He was there.
Yep.
The dude was like 6'7".
He's a basketball player, man. Yeah.
Very, very large human being. So I found myself getting bumped down the line to 3 technique and not being very familiar with how the technique works and just trying to muscle it. That's, if you know Marshall Yanda, that is the worst thing you could possibly ever think to do. You don't try to out-muscle that guy. So my technique was terrible, and I take very, very, very much pride in never being pancaked up until that point. So I found myself looking up at the sky. And, the crazy thing about it was Marshall enjoyed the job so much, he laughed and said, "Welcome to the league, rookie. You're going to have a great career." At that time, I couldn't believe it. But
he was right.
No, man.
He was
right, but he surely taught me a lesson. Technique over raw ability each and every day. And that's one thing he was blessed with, raw ability, raw strength, raw power. But that dude is a technician to the core, and that's why he'll get that gold jacket to him.
How many more years do you think he could have played at a Pro Bowl level? Just real quick.
Marshall?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't even know how old he is.
36, I think.
Yeah.
36, I think.
Yeah. No, that dude could have played at least 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah.
As long as his body's healthy.
But, yeah, good for him, right?
That he reminded me of. I'm like, man, you still in your prime, man. You ain't giving up the sack in 2 years. He's like, man, I've had the amount of surgeries or more as the time he spent in the league. So he's earned his retirement.
No doubt.
The Baltimore Ravens, so much good, and he's been such a great leader, man. He deserves everything that's coming to him, and I love being around him.
No, there's no doubt, man. He's a special breed. All right, Michael Pierce on Twitter at Mike Pierce _97. Make sure you follow him there, and it's at mpierce _97 on Instagram too, right?
Yes, sir.
Michael Pierce, dude, we can't thank you enough for in the locker room, coming on the show, everywhere we've seen you. You've always been just a tremendous dude and a damn good football player, and Ravens fans are going to miss you a whole hell of a lot. We'll be rooting for you, and then next year, obviously, when we get together at the Super Bowl for the big Ravens-Vikings Super Bowl, we'll be able to, catch up, break bread, and hang out then, all right?
Hell yeah, man. Let's do it. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for having me on the show, man. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you, Michael.